Hello everybody. Regarding the Hawkesbury floods, I just found this documentary that was done 2 years ago. It's called the bathtub effect. When you watch this video, it clearly defines why the Hawkesbury floods. And if you want to look at it, that's its name. Right? So what it clearly shows when it comes on.
Most major floods in the Hawkesbury Nepean Valley begin with high rainfall during east coast lows. But why are floods here so large and deep? What makes this valley have one of the highest flood dangers in all Australia? 5 major tributaries act like taps, pouring water into the valley during a flood. While every flood is different, the Warragamba River contributed up to 70% of the water in major floods that happened in the past 60 years. The other tributaries typically make small...
Now let's just have a look at that for a second. Warragamba River, 70%. Nepean River, 37%. It's actually Warragamba River is the second Nepean River. Then there's the Gross River, which is down at Yarramundi at Agnes Banks, which is just a little bit south of Richmond along the Castlereagh Road. Then, as I said, South Creek and Eastern Creek, which is at Clarendon and Windsor. Now, people don't realise that South Creek is the one that runs all the way back down to Goulburn. Yes, listen to what I'm saying to you, Goulburn. And it can come all the way down there through Camden, anywhere else. So if you get onto Google Earth and you have a look, and please listen to the words very carefully so you follow it. When you look at Windsor, which is currently where the new bridge is, if you go downstream, you'll see there's a narrow little opening. It's called the Windsor Boat Ramp. I did a story on it. It's down there on my YouTube channel, Windsor Boat Ramp. That is South Creek. That little tiny opening. It's about 20 metres wide. That's right, 20 metres wide. And that goes all the way back under that great big road between Mulgrave to Windsor. And the cars are driving over it while the new bridge at Windsor is underwater. So that's why I made a comment. Why couldn't they do their homework? Why didn't they build the new bridge at Windsor the same height as the bridge on the other side of Windsor as Mulgrave to Windsor? Now, it's irrespective that the road on the other side of the bridge would be underwater. What is the point of building a bridge if it's going to go underwater? Because then later on, they might do what they did up at Clarence. Then what they did, they made a raised road. Now, they could quite easily put a raised road all the way from the opposite side of Windsor over the Hawkesbury River on a higher bridge all the way over into Wilberforce, which means abandoning the old road or leaving it there for regular local traffic. They could put an expressway right over there. But government says, oh no, it's not busy enough. What a load of crap. Sorry, load of crap. Because that road is bumper to bumper every day, 2 single lanes, and it is bumper to bumper, all the way from Wilberforce to Windsor in the morning, and then from Windsor to Wilberforce in the afternoon, and as soon as you hit Wilberforce, it's down to a 50km/h speed limit. So there you go. And then it backs up all the way back to Windsor for those several kilometres. So if they put a bridge in, a higher bridge, above the height of the highest flood, which a lot of people don't realise, the highest point in Windsor, which is as high as the Windsor Mall, was actually underwater in the main street. George Street, Windsor, went underwater where the Commonwealth Bank is. Yes, that highest street in Windsor actually went underwater in 1961. This flood now in 2021 is just a drip in a bucket. It is nothing compared to what our forefathers went through. I was born in 1961 and my mother showed me all the photographs of George Street, Windsor, where the Westpac Bank and Commonwealth Bank is, and the Windsor Post Office was basically water sitting at the doorstep. So that's how high that water can get into Windsor. So if you like watching this, please let's continue. But getting back to South Creek. South Creek goes underneath the railway line and the main road from Mulgrave to Windsor. It then travels back around and goes up to Riverston out to Schofields. This since put thousands of houses at Schofields. The flood water used to come up right into the back of HMAS Narimba, the Navy base, back in 1979. I know that. I worked on the railways and I worked at Riverston in 1979. And also the Mulgrave Railway Station, the water come up onto the platform, onto where you stand there with your feet. It also come up to the base of Riverston Railway Station on the rails at Riverstone. Hard to believe, but that's as high as it came. And then it went over. Schofields train station went underwater. The old Schofields, which is down where the township is, where that now walkway bridge is, down there where the bushfire brigade is. So therefore then you don't realise. And then where the cows are now at the new Schofields railway station, the houses are, that used to be cow paddocks. Now when you come down Richmond Road at South Creek, out there at Windsor Downs, between Marsden Park, you see all those brand new houses. I used to fish there in Little South Creek, and on the north side of Richmond Road, you'll see the power lines are far away from the edge of the road. That's because the original road is down there. And I used to catch deep sea flathead down there back in 1968. So, that's right, 1968, deep sea flathead. That's how far that water comes in. Anyway, getting off that. Right, opposite there, on the right hand side, heading towards Blacktown from Windsor Downs, you see there's all those new houses. That used to be the only dairy farm with a rotating milking machine. Now if you drive up Richmond Road, you'll see there's a big sandstone wall up there and it says dairies. You don't have a look at it, it's still there. Just as you come over the bridge, it's on the right hand side heading towards Blacktown. It was a big, massive dairy farm. Now thousands of houses. And you look how high they raised the soil up, several metres. Now, if you follow that South Creek, it comes right up there into Robes Crossing. Robes Crossing is Robes Creek. Robes Creek is a subsidiary that runs into South Creek. Now, Robes Creek then runs underneath the railway line between Mount Druitt and St Mary's. And therefore then, it then follows around in the back and where they filled up and made St Clair. That's right, St Clair. I used to shoot rabbits there. Yes, with a gun. We used to go out there and shoot rabbits. Where all those houses are there at St Clair was cow paddocks. It's the same as when you go out along Luddenham Road. That's right, Luddenham Road and all that through there. All that is this bathtub effect. That's the point I'm trying to make. See, it's been over 30 years. Let's continue on the video.
Contributions. All this water needs to get to the sea, but natural choke points where the river narrows slows the flow in this valley. We call this the bathtub effect, where water backs up and starts filling the floodplain because there is only one plug hole letting water out. Because water is confined in this small valley at Wallacia, the worst flood here reached depths around 20 metres above normal river levels. Further downstream, the floodplain at Penrith and Emu Plains is created by the next choke point. Because Penrith has naturally high riverbanks which hold the river back, low-lying areas around Emu Plains and Peachtree Creek are affected first. However, extreme floods in the past have reached as far east as Woodruff Street in Penrith, where the river was 12 metres above normal levels. Further downstream, the next choke point is caused by a series of gorges starting at Sackville. Because the
Exactly what I
Richmond
told
Windsor
you.
floodplain is
Sackville.
relatively flat
The
and
5
wide,
Macquarie towns,
floodwaters
Windsor,
spread
Grass
quickly
Hill,
across a vast area.
Pitt Town,
In the worst
Sackville.
flood on record, here the river reached 19 metres above
Remember I
its
said
normal
about the
level.
Queen of England?
Floodwaters back up into creeks in the valley, and flood islands
So
form
there's
as
Pitt Town.
floodwaters rise.
See? Here's the
It's
choke
this
point.
bathtub effect
Sackville.
that makes floods in the Hawkesbury Nepean so
So you
devastating.
can't get through this
This is
winding
why
thing
it's
here.
important to respond when you're told to evacuate. The last
Anybody
major
remember your
flood
5
was in
Macquarie towns?
1990.
Pitt Town,
It will
McGrath
flood
Hill,
again in the Hawkesbury
Windsor,
Nepean Valley.
Richmond.
The risk is real. Do you know your flood risk?
There you go. So that's a very good video. As I said, Sackville. And thank you to the over 1,000 people that viewed the video on why does it flood. Anyway, thank you. See you later from Mr. Hominid. I hope I just educated you. So if you're going to go build in the Hawkesbury, oh, by the way, that's Whiteson's Ferry. I can tell straight away by looking at it. So there's a big ferry there, Whiteson's Ferry. On my YouTube channel, I actually go across there on that punt and that one there. That's just typical Whiteson's Ferry. We're all used to it. Bye. I hate cameras.